Istanbul is a well-liked European tourism destination for tourists from around the globe. When compared to other major European metropolises, Istanbul is also a reasonably priced travel destination. The answers to some of the most frequently asked questions about Istanbul are provided here, such as, how much does it cost to visit Istanbul? How expensive is Istanbul? Is it expensive to eat out? And how much of a budget should I have per day for Istanbul? All the information you need to plan your budget for your trip to Istanbul is included in our guide, including typical costs for lodging, meals, beverages, transportation, internet, phone, and must-see sites. Let's dive right in. When compared to other major cities around the world, especially in Europe, Istanbul has reasonable prices. In comparison to other EU locations like Poland, Romania, or Bulgaria, it is pricey. Istanbul was placed 185th out of 227 cities worldwide in the Mercer Cost of Living Survey for 2023. The Cost of Living Survey compares the prices of over 200 different products, including housing, transportation, food, clothes, household goods, entertainment, and more. It provides you with a starting point for comparing this city to other global metropolises. What is the price of a flight to Istanbul? The flights to Istanbul will differ depending on your departure airport and travel dates. A fast search will reveal that flights to Istanbul range from €250 to €350 from the EU, £175 to £325 from the UK, and $750 to $1,600 from the US. The most expensive months for flights are June and July. You can get the best prices if you travel to Istanbul in the off-peak months, which start in late October and run through June. But by making a stopover, you may lower the cost of your flights, regardless of the nation from which you are departing. It would only be worthwhile if you also intended to visit the nation of your layover. You could save about $150 by stopping for many hours. Rates for lodging. The cost of lodging varies depending on the area and district's distance from the city center. However, while you can readily discover all kinds of bargains, it will be advisable for you to stay in the city's central neighborhoods and major tourist areas. If your goal during your brief stay in Istanbul is to party, see the city, and make new friends, you may spend a few days in the city center renting a hostel room or a bed in a shared room. For two folks, a hostel stay would run roughly $20 per night. Two adults would pay around $50 per night for a mid-range hotel. In Istanbul, you may rent a lovely one-bedroom apartment in the city center for $300 per month or a three-bedroom apartment for $600. In conclusion, given that the trip to Istanbul is likely to be a touristic trip, $500 for 10 nights or $350 for a week, for two adults, at a mid-range hotel in a popular area like Sultanahmet, Taksim, or Galata would be a fair price, even though hotel rates vary too much. If you are looking to stay at a well-known hotel, the price would start at $120 per night. We suggest searching for hotels and reserving them through one of the many big online booking services. With a match, you may discover the greatest deals and receive pretty nice savings. Trivago is a great website to find good deals. Cost of public transportation. The least expensive and stress-free method of transportation in Istanbul is public transit. It's convenient and safe as well. Istanbul's public transportation options include shared taxis, dolmuş, ferries, sea buses, trams, funiculars, buses, metros, and metro buses. Istanbul Kart is a public transportation card that allows you to use the whole Istanbul public transportation system with only one card. The cost of Istanbul Kart is 70 Turkish liras, $3. No ride credit is included in this price. A single ride costs 15 Turkish liras, 50 cents. In summary, $25 gets each passenger 50 trips, which is plenty for a week or 10 days. Costs of food and drinks. If you avoid the tourist traps, Istanbul might be a reasonably priced trip. We advise against selecting the hotel's cuisine since it will be more costly than that of the downtown area. A decent Turkish breakfast for one person may be had for $3 to $15, ranging from a sandwich and tea to a full brunch at a nice restaurant. However, it is assumed that your hotel or hostel will provide complimentary breakfast, so you should take advantage of it. A 3-course lunch or dinner meal for one person in a mid-range restaurant would typically cost about $10. You may spend less than $2 on a pre-made sandwich for the market or pass the lunch and get a renowned Turkish simit, which is a sesame-crusted bread similar to bagels, with tea. On a rooftop bar, you may get a $9 cocktail or enjoy your beer on a patio for $4. In conclusion, you should budget around $25 per day for food and beverages for one person. However, we advise you to budget additional money so that you may treat yourself to some delicious street cuisine or local flavors. Additionally, keep in mind that, if you like pubs and clubs, you should budget at least $100 for a few days of spending money there. To view the most recent pricing, please visit the cost of living in Istanbul pages on numbeo.com. In summary, each person will spend about $25 on meals, including lunch and supper, and $6 on drinks each day, for a total of $310 per person, enough for 1 week, 10 days. Cost of attractions. Istanbul's most well-liked tourist destinations are reasonably priced. The most popular ones are Topkapi Palace, which charges $25 or $50 for guided tours. Guided tours of Hagia Sophia cost about $25, but you can wander the halls at your own pace for free. Purchasing discounted passes like the Istanbul E-Pass, Istanbul Museum Pass, or Istanbul Tourist Pass would be the least expensive way. It will save you up to 70%. Many tourist destinations are free to enter with these passes, and you'll also receive unlimited internet access, free public transit, one-way airport transportation, and skip-the-line access. Additionally, you may ride the most popular Istanbul city tour bus, which costs $45 and allows you to jump on and off at your own leisure, as well as the $15 Bosphorus cruise. Evening cruises start at $50. When you visit Istanbul, you will probably buy a bunch of unique things, like carpets, jewelry, Turkish delights, and souvenirs. Therefore, you would most likely need to set aside $500 for sporadic expenses. Just make sure to shop around and negotiate when purchasing big-ticket items, such as rugs. Overall, Istanbul is a reasonably priced destination. Finally, we can say that your 1-week Istanbul trip would cost you around $2,000 for 2 people, including all